Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a vast, boundless ocean. The waves rise and fall, but the depths remain undisturbed. This ocean is your inner self, infinite and powerful. Yet, so often we forget to explore its depths, instead choosing to sail the shallow waters of comparison and external focus. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, not just to see your reflection, but to truly observe yourself, the depths of your being, the desires that stir within, and the thoughts that shape your reality. The act of turning inward, of delving into the silence of your own soul, is the most profound journey you can undertake. This journey is what we call inner reflection, and it holds the key to unlocking your greatest potential. It is not an escape from the world, but a rediscovery of the power that has always been within you. Through reflection, you begin to understand that your life is not shaped by the opinions of others or the circumstances you find yourself in. Instead, it is shaped by your beliefs, your emotions, and the thoughts you entertain most frequently. You are the architect of your reality, and inner reflection is the blueprint. It allows you to see the patterns in your thinking that have created your current experience. Perhaps you have been carrying limiting beliefs, thoughts of unworthiness, fear, or doubt that have kept you from stepping into your power. Reflection brings these beliefs to the surface, not to shame or condemn you, but to give you the opportunity to release them. The process of inner reflection requires courage. It asks you to confront not only your dreams but also your fears and insecurities. It is tempting to look away, to distract yourself with the busyness of life. But true growth comes from facing yourself honestly and with compassion. In doing so, you begin to see that your fears are not as overwhelming as they seemed. They are merely shadows cast by the light of your awareness. Once you shine that light on them, they begin to dissolve. Inner reflection is not a one-time event but a continual practice. Just as you would regularly care for your physical body, your inner world requires attention and nurturing. Take time each day to sit in silence, to ask yourself meaningful questions, and to listen deeply to the answers that arise. What do you truly want? What brings you joy? What beliefs are holding you back? These questions are doorways to understanding yourself on a deeper level. The more you practice, the clearer your path becomes. As you deepen your inner reflection, you will notice a shift in your outer reality. This is the miraculous nature of life. The outer world is a mirror of your inner state. When you cultivate peace within, your relationships become more harmonious. When you embrace abundance within, opportunities flow to you effortlessly. When you love yourself fully, you attract love from others. The world does not create you, you create the world you experience. Inner reflection empowers you to take full ownership of this creative process. One of the most beautiful gifts of inner reflection is the realization that you are enough, just as you are. You do not need to prove your worth or seek validation from others. The more you connect with your inner self, the more you see that your value is intrinsic. You are not defined by your achievements, your possessions, or your relationships. These things may enhance your life, but they do not determine your worth. Reflection helps you strip away these external layers and reconnect with the essence of who you are. In this space of reflection, you also discover that you are never truly alone. Within you lies a connection to something greater, a divine presence, an infinite intelligence, or simply the vastness of your own soul. This presence is always with you, guiding and supporting you, even in your darkest moments. When you feel lost or uncertain, turn inward. Trust that the answers you seek are already within you, waiting to be revealed. Inner reflection is not about perfection, it is about progress. The world may try to convince you. It is not about judging yourself for where you are, but celebrating the courage it takes to look within. In the accumulation of wealth, each step you take on this journey brings you closer to the life you desire. These pursuits, while they may bring temporary satisfaction, and as you grow, you can never fill the void within. The same. True fulfillment comes from knowing yourself, creates a ripple effect, from aligning with your touching the lives of those around, and from living authentically. Inner reflection is the compass that guides you back to this truth, time and time again. As you stand before the mirror of your own soul, embrace what you see. The journey inward is the most important journey you will ever take, for it leads you to the infinite power, wisdom, and love that reside within you. Focus on this, nurture it, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined possible. In a world filled with constant connectivity and endless streams of information, it is easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. From the moment you wake up and check your phone to the interactions you have throughout the day, the lives of others are on display. Their successes, possessions, appearances, and even their curated moments of happiness seem to scream, "Look at me." It is a natural response to measure your own life against what you see. Yet this act of comparison is built on a foundation of illusion. The belief that someone else's journey has anything to do with your own is one of the greatest misconceptions we carry. The comparison is deceptive because it draws your attention outward, away from the only thing that truly matters, yourself. When you compare yourself to others, you are often comparing your behind-the-scenes struggles to their highlight reel. What you see of someone else's life is never the full picture. It is filtered, edited, and often exaggerated to create an image of perfection. But perfection itself is an illusion. No matter how flawless a person's life may seem, it is built on the same foundation of highs and lows, triumphs and challenges as yours. By comparing yourself to an incomplete and often distorted version of another's reality, you are setting yourself up for unnecessary pain and dissatisfaction. This illusion of external comparison thrives on insecurity. When you feel unsure of your own worth, it becomes tempting to look outward for validation. You seek confirmation that you are enough by measuring yourself against others. But this approach is flawed, for it assumes that your value can be quantified in relation to someone else's. It cannot. Your worth is inherent and independent of any external metric. No one else can diminish or enhance it. The act of comparing is like chasing a mirage. The closer you get, the further away it seems. Satisfaction through comparison is always out of reach. External comparison is a thief of joy. Imagine this: you achieve something you have worked hard for, something that once seemed impossible. But instead of celebrating your success, you compare it to someone else's. Suddenly, your achievement feels small, your effort insignificant. The joy you felt moments ago is replaced by doubt and envy. This is the cost of comparison. It robs you of the ability to appreciate your own journey. You deserve to celebrate your victories, no matter how they measure up to others. Your path is unique, and your growth is worth honoring. What makes comparison even more insidious is its ability to distract you from your purpose. When you focus on what others are doing, you lose sight of your own goals and desires. You begin to chase things that do not truly align with who you are, simply because they seem desirable in someone else's life. But what brings fulfillment to one person may bring emptiness to another. By trying to replicate someone else's success, you deny yourself the opportunity to create a life that is authentically yours. Comparison leads you away from your truth, while self-awareness brings you closer to it. To escape the illusion of external comparison, you must first understand that no two journeys are the same. Each person is walking their own path, shaped by their unique experiences, challenges, and desires. And you cannot compare your beginning to someone else's middle, or your middle to someone else's end. The timeline of your life is yours alone, and it unfolds at its own perfect pace. Trusting this process requires letting go of the need to measure your progress against others. Instead, focus on your own growth, your own milestones, and your own joy. Another way to free yourself from comparison is to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing others' successes as a reflection of your inadequacy, view them as inspiration. Celebrate their achievements as proof that what you desire is possible. Let their victories ignite a sense of possibility within you, rather than a sense of lack. When you shift from envy to admiration, you open yourself up to the abundance of life. There is enough success, love, and happiness to go around. Another person's light does not diminish your own, it only adds to the collective brilliance. It is also essential to cultivate gratitude. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, the need to compare begins to fade. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment and reminds you of the abundance already in your life. It shifts your attention from what is outside of you to what is within. The more you practice gratitude, the more you realize that you lack nothing, You are whole, complete, and capable of creating a life that fulfills you. Remember that your value does not come from what you have or how you appear to others. It comes from who you are at your core. No external comparison can ever define you. Let go of the illusion of external comparison. With gifts, talents, and qualities that no one else possesses. Release the need to measure your life against anyone else's. Your worth is not something to be proven, it is something to be embraced. The more you connect with this truth, the less power comparison will have over you. In doing so, you will discover that everything you have been searching for outside of you has been within you all along. Your path is yours and it is enough. You are enough. Imagine holding a magnifying glass under the sun. As the light passes through, it focuses into a single, powerful beam capable of igniting even the driest kindling. The scattered rays of the sun become concentrated energy, transforming into something extraordinary. This is a simple yet profound metaphor for your life. Energy flows where focus goes. Whatever you consistently direct your attention to, you empower and amplify. It becomes the force that shapes your experiences, your emotions, and ultimately your destiny. Your mind is a vast reservoir of creative energy, but much of this energy is wasted when it is dispersed. In every moment, you are surrounded by countless distractions, notifications, obligations, conversations, and thoughts pulling you in different directions. If your attention is scattered across these diversions, your energy becomes diluted, and your ability to create meaningful change diminishes. However, when you focus your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward a single intention, you align your energy like the concentrated beam of the magnifying glass, creating extraordinary outcomes. This is not merely wishful thinking, it is a law of the mind. Your thoughts and emotions act like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Whatever you water with your attention grows. If you focus on lack, scarcity will take root. If you focus on abundance, prosperity will bloom. The soil does not judge the seed, it simply nurtures whatever is planted. In the same way, your mind responds to your focus without question, cultivating whatever you consistently feed it. To harness this power, you must first become aware of where your focus is going. Take a moment to reflect on your daily thoughts. Are they consumed by negativity, doubt, or resentment? Or do they gravitate toward hope, love, and empowerment? Awareness is the first step to change. Once you understand where your attention has been flowing, you can redirect it toward what truly matters to you. Redirecting your focus requires intentionality. It is not enough to passively hope for better outcomes. You must actively choose where to direct your energy. Start by setting clear intentions. What do you want to create, experience, or achieve? Be specific. A vague focus leads to scattered energy, but clarity acts as a compass, guiding your thoughts and actions in alignment with your goals. As you set your intentions, it is essential to back them with unwavering belief. Energy flows most powerfully when it is supported by faith and conviction. Doubt creates resistance, scattering your energy and diluting your focus. Trust in the process, even if the results are not immediately visible. Just as a seed takes time to sprout, the manifestations of your focus require patience and persistence. Discipline is also a vital part of this practice. Your attention is like a muscle that needs regular exercise to grow stronger. The world is full of distractions that vie for your energy, tempting you to stray from your intentions. It is easy to fall into patterns of mindless scrolling, reactive emotions, or self-doubt. Discipline helps you reclaim your focus, redirecting your energy back to what truly matters. Emotions are another critical component of where your energy flows. Your feelings act as amplifiers, intensifying the power of your focus. When you pair your thoughts with emotions like gratitude, excitement, or love, you supercharge your energy. It is not enough to think positively, you must feel it deeply. Your emotions are the fuel that drives your focus forward, propelling your intentions into action. But focusing your energy is not just about achieving goals, it is also about transforming how you experience life. When you direct your attention toward the present moment, you tap into a profound sense of peace and joy. Many people live in a state of mental chaos, either dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. but the present is where your true power lies. By focusing on the here and now, you reclaim your energy from the distractions of time, grounding yourself in the fullness of life. Remember, where your focus goes, energy flows, and where energy flows, life grows. This is not just a concept, it is a practice. Every thought you entertain, every feeling you cultivate, and every action you take sends ripples of energy into the universe. These ripples return to you in the form of experiences, opportunities, and outcomes. By consciously choosing where to direct your focus, you become the creator of your life, not a bystander. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Guard it, nurture it, and direct it wisely. When you master your focus, you master your life. The power is already within you, waiting to be claimed. Choose your focus with intention, and watch as your energy transforms your reality in ways beyond your imagination. The need for external validation is one of the most persistent traps of the human experience. From an early age, we are conditioned to seek approval from others' parents, teachers, friends, and even strangers. Society teaches us to measure our worth based on the applause we receive, the compliments we hear, and the recognition we achieve. Over time, this dependency can become a prison, silently dictating how we think, act, and feel. But true freedom begins when we detach from the need for external validation and recognize that our value is inherent, unshaken by the opinions of others. External validation is fleeting by nature. It can elevate you one moment and abandon you the next. If your sense of self is tied to the approval of others, you will constantly chase a moving target, never feeling secure or whole. People's opinions are as varied as the waves in the sea, changing with the tide of their own moods, experiences, and biases. Relying on such an unstable foundation for your self-worth ensures that you are always vulnerable to the whims of others. This is not a life of freedom, but one of dependence and uncertainty. The truth is that no one knows you better than you know yourself. The essence of who you are cannot be captured by someone else's judgment, no matter how well-intentioned or sincere it may seem. You carry within you the only measure of validation you will ever need, your own awareness of your inherent worth. When you detach from external validation, you begin to see that your value does not come from the applause you receive, but from the authenticity with which you live. To detach from external validation, you must first become aware of where it has taken root in your life. Pay attention to the subtle ways you seek approval. Do you adjust your words to gain favor in a conversation? Do you hesitate to share your true thoughts for fear of judgment? Do you find yourself feeling diminished when someone disapproves of your choices? These are signs that external validation is influencing you more than you may realize. Awareness is the first step toward breaking free. Once you are aware, begin to shift your focus inward. Ask yourself, what do I truly think about myself? What do I value? What brings me joy? These questions help you reconnect with your inner self, the part of you that remains untouched by external opinions. The more you focus on your inner world, the less power external validation will have over you. Your self-worth begins to anchor itself in your own truth, rather than the fleeting approval of others. Detachment from external validation also requires the courage to embrace your imperfections. Much of the need for validation stems from a fear of not being enough, smart enough, attractive enough, successful enough. Another powerful step perfection is an illusion, and chasing when you catch yourself craving validation on external or feeling hurt by criticism. When you accept yourself as you are, with kindness, with all your flaws and strengths, remind yourself that solid foundation of self is a conditioned response. From this place of acceptance of your true self, the opinions of others treat yourself as you would a dear friend, because you no longer need them to feel patience and encouragement. Self-compassion helps you break the cycle of self-doubt and strengthens your connection to your inner worth. Freedom from external validation also opens the door to authentic living. When you are no longer bound by the need for approval, you can make choices based on what feels right for you, not what will please others. You begin to pursue passions, relationships, and paths that align with your values rather than societal expectations. This authenticity not only deepens your connection to yourself, but also attracts people and opportunities that resonate with your true essence. The journey of detaching from external validation is not always easy. It requires unlearning deeply ingrained habits and facing the discomfort of standing in your truth, even when it is met with disapproval. But the rewards far outweigh the challenges. As you let go of the need for external approval, you reclaim your power. You stop living for others and start living for yourself. Your confidence grows not because others praise you, but because you trust in your own worth. Detaching from external validation is an act of liberation. It is a return to your authentic self, free from the distortions of societal expectations and judgments. It is a recognition that your worth is not something to be earned, it is something to be embraced. When you stop seeking approval from others, you discover that the only validation you ever needed was your own. This is the path to true freedom, peace, and self-empowerment. It is the realization that you are already enough, just as you are. It is easy to fall into the illusion that the world operates independently of you, that circumstances simply happen, and you are at their mercy. But look closer, and you will notice patterns. The same kinds of challenges, relationships, or opportunities seem to recur, almost as if life is presenting you with a reflection of your inner state. If you feel unworthy, the world will mirror situations that reinforce that belief. If you hold thoughts of abundance and gratitude, life will unfold in ways that affirm those qualities. The world is neutral. Neither for nor against you, it simply reflects who you are within. This truth can be both liberating and challenging. It is liberating because it places the power to shape your experiences firmly in your hands. No longer are you a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of them. But it is also challenging because it calls for radical responsibility. It requires you to examine your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs without blame or judgment. The mirror of the world shows you not what you want to see, but what you need to see in order to grow and align with your higher self. When life presents difficulties, the immediate reaction is often to resist or blame external factors. Yet resistance only perpetuates the very struggles you wish to escape. The mirror reflects resistance back to you in the form of persistent challenges. Instead, approach these moments with curiosity and introspection. Ask yourself, what is this experience trying to show me about my inner world? What belief or fear am I holding on to that is manifesting in this way? The answers may not always be comfortable, but they are essential for transformation. The power of this reflection becomes even more apparent in relationships. The people you encounter are often mirrors of aspects of yourself, both the parts you embrace and those you resist. A difficult relationship may highlight unresolved insecurities, while a supportive one can affirm your strengths. This does not mean others are solely projections of you, but rather that they reveal the dynamics you carry within. By recognizing this, you can approach relationships with greater compassion and awareness, understanding that they are opportunities for growth, rather than sources of validation or conflict. As you begin to see the world as a mirror, you realize the futility of trying to manipulate the reflection without addressing the source. Just as a physical mirror cannot alter the image it reflects, the outer world cannot change unless your inner world does. If you seek peace, cultivate peace within yourself. If you desire love, embody love in your thoughts and actions. The more you align with the qualities you wish to experience, the more the world will mirror them back to you. This is not a mystical process, but a natural law of resonance, like attracts like, and your inner state shapes your external reality. Gratitude is a powerful tool in this process. By appreciating what is already present in your life, you shift your focus from lack to abundance. The mirror of the world responds by reflecting more reasons to feel grateful. Gratitude is not merely a reaction to what you receive, it is a state of being that aligns you with the flow of life. It transforms the way you see the world, allowing you to notice opportunities and blessings that may have been obscured by a mindset of scarcity. It is important to approach this process with patience. The world's reflection may not change immediately because deeply ingrained beliefs and patterns take time to shift. Trust in the process and remain consistent in your inner work. The mirror does not lie, but it may take time to reveal the full extent of your transformation. Each moment is an opportunity to refine your inner state, knowing that the outer world will follow in time. The mirror of the world is not separate from you. It is an extension of your consciousness, a living testament to the power you hold within. It reveals the harmony or discord of your inner self, inviting you to align more fully with your true nature. When you understand this, life becomes less of a struggle and more of a dialogue, a continuous conversation between your inner world and the reflection you see outside. Every moment, the mirror offers you a chance to grow, to shift, and to create anew. It is not there to judge or punish, but to guide and awaken you to your potential. By embracing this truth, you step into your power as the creator of your experience. You no longer see the world as something to be feared or controlled, but as a faithful partner in your journey. The mirror of the world is always present, waiting for you to recognize the beauty and power of the reflection it holds. The essence of self-ownership is the understanding that you are the sole creator, governor, and architect of your life. It is the profound realization that no external force, circumstance, or individual holds the power to dictate who you are or what you become. To own yourself fully is to recognize that you alone are responsible for your thoughts, emotions, decisions, and actions. This is not a burden but an extraordinary gift, one that grants you the freedom to shape your destiny with intention and clarity. Life often tempts us to relinquish this power. We look to others for validation, rely on circumstances to define our worth, or blame external forces for our misfortunes. Yet, the moment you give away responsibility for your life, you give away your power. To live as the master of your own experience, you must reclaim this power by accepting full ownership of yourself. This is not an act of defiance but of liberation, for it sets you free from the illusions of control that the external world holds over you. Self-ownership begins with the acknowledgement that your thoughts create your reality. Every belief you hold, every assumption you accept, and every story you tell yourself shapes the lens through which you view the world. If your inner dialogue is one of doubt, fear, or limitation, your external experiences will reflect these states. Conversely, when you cultivate thoughts of empowerment, confidence, and abundance, life begins to mirror these qualities back to you. The law of self-ownership invites you to take charge of your mental landscape, knowing that it is the foundation upon which your reality is built. With self-ownership comes the understanding that you are not a passive recipient of emotions, but their creator. Feelings do not arise out of nowhere, they are the product of your interpretations and responses to life. To own your emotions is to accept that no one can make you feel anything without your consent. While others may trigger certain responses, it is ultimately your choice to nurture those feelings or release them. By taking responsibility for your emotional state, you free yourself from the reactive patterns that keep you bound to suffering. The decisions you make are another cornerstone of self-ownership. Every choice, no matter how small, carries the weight of shaping your future. To own yourself is to make decisions consciously, guided not by fear or obligation, but by your inner truth. This requires courage, for it often means walking a path that others may not understand or approve of. Yet, when you honor your own voice, you align with your authentic self, creating a life that reflects your deepest values and desires. Owning yourself also means taking full responsibility for your actions and their consequences. This does not imply perfection. Mistakes are inevitable and valuable teachers. What matters is how you respond to them. When you take ownership of your missteps, you gain the power to learn, grow, and course correct. Blame and excuses only serve to disempower you, keeping you stuck in a cycle of victimhood. True self-ownership is about accountability, not judgment. It is the recognition that every action, whether it leads to success or failure, is an opportunity to evolve. Another critical aspect of self-ownership is the ability to set boundaries. To own yourself fully, you must recognize where you end and others begin. This means saying no to what does not serve you and yes to what aligns with your truth. Boundaries are not walls to keep others out, but expressions of self-respect and clarity. When you honor your boundaries, you teach others how to treat you and create space for authentic relationships that nurture rather than drain you. Self-ownership is not about isolation or self-centeredness. It is about reclaiming your inherent power so you can contribute meaningfully to the world. When you own yourself, you stop seeking validation from others, freeing your energy to focus on what truly matters. This allows you to show up as your most authentic self, offering your unique gifts and perspectives without fear of rejection or judgment. True self-ownership enhances your ability to connect with others, because it comes from a place of wholeness rather than need. Embracing the law of self-ownership also involves releasing the illusion of control over others. Just as you are responsible for yourself, so too are others responsible for their own lives. Trying to fix, change, or control someone else is not only futile, but also a violation of their sovereignty. By letting go of this tendency, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and allow others the dignity of their own journey. This shift in perspective fosters mutual respect and harmony in your relationships. The law of self-ownership is not a one-time realization but a lifelong practice. It requires ongoing awareness and commitment to align your thoughts, emotions, decisions, and actions with your highest self. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and resistance, but these are part of the process. Each challenge is an invitation to deepen your ownership, to step further into your power, and to trust in your ability to navigate life on your terms. Self-ownership is about reclaiming your birthright as a creator of your own experience. It is the recognition that your life is not something that happens to you, but something that flows from you. When you fully own yourself, you unlock the limitless potential within you, becoming the author of a story that is uniquely and unapologetically yours. This is the essence of true freedom, not the absence of responsibility, but the embrace of it, knowing that within it lies the power to create a life of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. In conclusion, the essence of life lies in turning inward, understanding your power, and embracing the profound truth that everything you seek already resides within you. The world is not something to conquer or change, but a reflection of your inner state. By focusing on your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, you reclaim your power and step into the role of the creator of your own experience. You do not need external validation or comparison, for your worth is inherent, your purpose is unique, and your journey is yours alone. As you cultivate this awareness, you will see that the path to fulfillment, abundance, and peace begins with self-ownership. By aligning with your inner truth, you transform your reality, not through force, but through resonance. Trust in the process, honor your boundaries, and take responsibility for the magnificent power within you. Life will mirror back the beauty and strength you carry, leading you to a destiny of your choosing. Thank you for listening, and may you walk forward with clarity, courage, and unwavering belief in the power of your inner self. When you stop texting and calling a man, something remarkable begins to unfold, not in him first, but in you. You withdraw from the endless pursuit, ceasing to scatter your energy outward. This withdrawal is not an act of punishment, it is a return to your power, to the silent center where your true value resides. You see, when you are constantly reaching out, seeking acknowledgement, you dilute your own presence. You become familiar, predictable, and easily dismissed. But when you stop, a void is created, a void that demands to be filled. And nature abhors a vacuum. Suddenly, the man who took your calls and messages for granted begins to feel the weight of your absence. He notices the silence, not as an emptiness, but as a presence that speaks louder than any words could. The law of withdrawal is a principle that can dramatically change the course of your life. It is about reclaiming your energy and withdrawing from situations, relationships, or behaviors that drain you, all without any force or resentment. When you pull back, you create a space in which the energy you previously gave to others, or to the world outside of you, is returned to yourself. This energy is then able to flow within, giving you the power to transform your life from the inside out. Withdrawal is not a withdrawal of love, but a conscious decision to stop seeking external validation and to start cultivating self-empowerment. When you're constantly giving, chasing, or reaching out to others for affirmation, approval, or affection, you are spreading your energy thin. This creates a dynamic where your worth becomes dependent on others and their responses, leaving you with little control over your own life. The law of withdrawal, however, calls you to turn inward, to cease the external search for fulfillment, and to recognize that the love and approval you seek is already within you. The first powerful shift that happens when you practice the law of withdrawal is that you reclaim your power. Too often we give our power away without realizing it, hoping that our actions will cause someone to value us, love us, or recognize our worth. This is common in romantic relationships, but it also happens in friendships, work environments, and other personal interactions. When we stop texting, calling, or chasing after someone to get their attention, we take back control of our energy and our actions. In doing so, we become the one in command of the situation, not from a place of manipulation, but from a place of understanding that you have the choice to direct your attention and energy where you see fit. By pulling back, you also tap into the mystery that naturally exists in any meaningful relationship. When you are always accessible, always responding, always there to be relied upon, you lose your intrigue. There is nothing left to be discovered. But when you create space, when you stop texting and calling, you allow mystery to enter the equation. This is a universal law. Mystery attracts attention. When someone does not know what you are doing or why you are silent, their curiosity is piqued. They begin to wonder what has changed. And this wonder is what draws them back into your orbit. Not because you are playing games or trying to manipulate, but because you are honoring your own needs and energy, which becomes a powerful force that others cannot easily ignore. The law of withdrawal teaches us the value of absence. Absence doesn't just mean physical distance, it means emotional and energetic space. When you stop constantly reaching out, you allow for the other person to miss you, to feel the void you've left behind. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's an old saying, but it is rooted in a profound truth. People do not appreciate what they have until it is no longer there. The withdrawal you initiate may create a longing in the other person, not because you have done anything extraordinary, but simply because you have taken the step to honor yourself by stepping back. When you no longer chase, the pursuit is now in their hands. They begin to recognize that you are not someone who is easily available at all times. You are a person who deserves to be valued, respected, and pursued. But the power of withdrawal doesn't lie solely in its effect on others. It's even more profound in the way it impacts you. Withdrawal allows you to reconnect with yourself, to rediscover who you truly are without the distraction of constant interaction and external influences. When you stop seeking outward validation, you begin the journey inward. And this is where true self-discovery begins. You start to focus on your own thoughts, desires, and emotions. You learn to listen to your inner voice, and through this practice you begin to realize that your worth is not something to be given to you by others, it is inherent in who you are. Furthermore, the law of withdrawal cultivates peace and inner fulfillment. Too often we fill the silence with distractions, whether it's through constant communication, social media, or external noise. But in the stillness of withdrawal, there is peace. When you stop texting, calling, or constantly engaging with the world, you can hear your own thoughts more clearly. You can hear your needs, your desires, and your inner wisdom. This practice fosters a deep sense of self-love and self-respect because you are no longer chasing external approval. Instead, you learn to approve of yourself, to nurture your own soul, and to trust that everything you need is already within you. There is also a transformative aspect to the law of withdrawal in how it strengthens your ability to trust in the unseen. Many times when we stop pursuing someone or something, we fear that the situation will fall apart or that we will lose something important. But withdrawal is an act of faith. It is a recognition that there are unseen forces, be they divine, energetic, or simply the natural flow of life, that are working to bring about the right circumstances for us. When you withdraw, you are saying that you trust that the universe will align things in your favor, even if you do not understand how or why. It is the trust that by letting go, you are opening the door for something better to come into your life. The universe works in mysterious ways, and when you step back, you give space for the best possible outcome to unfold. The law of withdrawal is a powerful tool for anyone seeking to reclaim their life, their energy, and their sense of self-worth. It is not about withdrawing in fear, but rather in strength. When you stop chasing, when you stop texting and calling, you create space for the world to come to you. And when that happens, you will realize that you never had to chase at all. Your true worth, your true power was always within you, waiting for you to recognize it. The power of mystery is an ancient and profound force that plays a central role in both human attraction and personal transformation. Mystery isn't about deception or playing games. It is about creating space for curiosity to thrive, for discovery to unfold, and for others to find something valuable in what remains unseen. When you embody mystery, you create an aura of allure, an intrigue that cannot be replicated by constant exposure or predictability. It is through the art of mystery that we can draw others to us, find deeper connections, and create the conditions for our own personal growth and self-realization. At the core of the power of mystery is the understanding that not everything should be revealed immediately. In our modern world, where access to information is instant and constant, we often feel the pressure to share every detail of our lives, to make ourselves completely transparent. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of the power that mystery provides. We give too much of ourselves away too soon, and in that act of overexposure, we lose the opportunity for others to truly value what we offer. The magic of mystery lies in what is hidden, what is waiting to be discovered. It is the sense that there is more beneath the surface, that there is a deeper layer yet to be uncovered. This is what makes something or someone captivating. It is the unknown that calls out to be explored, the curiosity that urges us to keep seeking. When you practice the power of mystery, you stop oversharing and instead allow others the chance to get to know you over time. It's about leaving something for the imagination, something that cannot be easily explained away or fully grasped in one encounter. Whether it's in relationships, professional settings, or even in personal development, the more you withhold, the more others will want to engage with you. This doesn't mean you should hide your true self, but rather that you reveal yourself piece by piece, offering glimpses rather than full exposure. By doing so, you invite others to step closer, to peel back the layers of your being, and to uncover what makes you unique. The allure of mystery is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. When something or someone holds an element of mystery, it draws people in. This is especially true in relationships. When we stop revealing every thought, every action, and every feeling, we create an energy that compels others to inquire, to ask questions, and to engage with us on a deeper level. It sparks curiosity and creates a sense of anticipation. When people cannot immediately decipher you, they are left wondering about your thoughts, your intentions, your desires. They begin to feel that there is something more to you, something they have yet to fully experience or understand. This is what creates attraction, the desire to know more, to understand the puzzle that you present. This same concept applies to how we relate to ourselves. We are often our own biggest mystery, not because we are hiding anything, but because our inner worlds are vast and complex. The more we allow ourselves to be curious about our own potential, our desires and our feelings, the more we unlock hidden aspects of ourselves. Personal growth comes not from having all the answers, but from exploring the unknown parts of our psyche and allowing them to reveal themselves in their own time. When we embrace our own mystery, we stop limiting ourselves to what we already know and become open to the possibility of discovering new facets of who we are. The power of mystery also creates room for imagination. When we withhold, we allow others to project their thoughts and feelings onto us, and in doing so, we create a space where they can form their own connections to us. This can be an extremely powerful tool in relationships. Rather than presenting a complete picture, we allow others to experience us in fragments, and in the process they fill in the gaps with their own perceptions. This process can foster a sense of connection and understanding that might not otherwise exist if everything were immediately laid out in front of them. The beauty of this lies in the fact that each person's perception of us is uniquely shaped by their own experiences, their own thoughts, and their own desires. Mystery also plays a significant role in our ability to manifest our desires and shape our future. In many ways, life itself is a mystery, and the more we embrace the unknown, the more we allow life to unfold in unexpected and exciting ways. When we allow space for mystery, we stop trying to control every outcome and instead trust in the unseen forces that guide us. We learn to surrender to the process of life, knowing that there is a greater plan at work, even if we cannot always see it. By stepping into the unknown with faith, we allow ourselves to be open to new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences that we could never have predicted. This power of mystery also connects us to something larger than ourselves, whether we call it the universe, divine intelligence, or the collective consciousness. It is the understanding that there is much more to life than meets the eye, and that the mysteries of life are there to be embraced, not feared. The more we step into this mysterious flow, the more we are aligned with the natural rhythms of existence. We stop forcing outcomes and instead let life unfold in its own time, knowing that everything we need will be revealed when the time is right. The power of mystery is about creating a balance between revealing enough to spark interest and holding back enough to maintain intrigue. It is about understanding that there is more to you and to life than what is immediately visible. It is about inviting curiosity, allowing discovery, and trusting that the unknown holds beauty, potential, and a deeper connection. By embracing the mystery within yourself and in the world around you, you create a life that is ever evolving, full of wonder, and continuously unfolding into something more profound. Self-worth is silent, not in the sense of passivity or being unheard, but rather in the quiet strength that emanates when you truly know your value without needing to announce it to the world. True self-worth doesn't demand attention or validation from others. It is a deep inner knowing that transcends external circumstances, judgments, or comparisons. It is an energy that silently radiates from within, regardless of whether anyone acknowledges it. This kind of self-worth is not dependent on approval or admiration, and it doesn't require external recognition. Instead, it stands firm in the knowledge that you are enough, simply by being who you are. In a world that often places so much emphasis on outward appearances, achievements, and the opinions of others, it can be easy to forget the silent power of self-worth. We often find ourselves chasing validation, trying to prove our worthiness through accomplishments, social media likes, or even the opinions of people we don't know. But this outward pursuit is draining and ultimately hollow. It's a cycle that never truly satisfies the inner longing for validation, because it is built on external sources that are fleeting, changing, and often unreliable. Self-worth, on the other hand, does not depend on any of these things. It is a quiet, unwavering belief that we are valuable regardless of what anyone else says or does. When you have true self-worth, you no longer feel the need to explain yourself to others. There is no need for justification, no need to defend your actions, your decisions, or your worth. You are comfortable in your own skin, with your own choices, because you have come to a place of inner understanding that you are enough. This silence is not born of insecurity, but of strength. It is the power of knowing that your value is inherent and not subject to the whims of anyone else's perception. When you stop seeking validation from others, you start to tap into an authentic power that needs no external reinforcement. Your self-worth becomes a solid foundation on which you can build the life you truly desire. This quiet sense of worth also allows you to set boundaries that are rooted in self-respect, not fear or self-doubt. When you understand your value, you recognize that you deserve respect, love, and kindness. You no longer tolerate disrespect or mistreatment, because you know that you are worthy of better. There is no need for loud proclamations or dramatic gestures when you have established this silent understanding of yourself. Your actions speak volumes. Your presence commands respect, not because you demand it from others, but because you have cultivated a sense of self-respect so strong that others cannot help but acknowledge it. Self-worth also allows for a sense of peace and contentment that comes from within. In a world that constantly pushes us to strive for more success, more possessions, more recognition, it is easy to get caught in the never-ending chase. But when you know your worth, you can step off this treadmill of external achievement and find peace in simply being. You recognize that you are not what you have, what you do, or what others think of you. You are not defined by your job title, your bank balance, or the number of followers you have. Your worth is not something that can be measured by these external markers. It is something intrinsic, something that can't be taken away. This peace that comes with self-worth doesn't mean that you are complacent or stop striving for your goals. On the contrary, when you know your value, you are more likely to pursue your passions with focus and clarity. You no longer do things out of desperation or a need for approval, but out of a desire to fulfill your own potential and to express the gifts you've been given. You become less concerned with competition, comparison, and the opinions of others. Your journey is your own, and the only person you need to impress is yourself. You learn to celebrate your achievements, no matter how big or small, because you know that they are a reflection of your growth, not of anyone's validation. Another important aspect of silent self-worth is how it affects the way you relate to others. When you know your worth, you attract people who recognize and honor it. You no longer settle for relationships or situations that drain your energy or undermine your sense of self. The right people will be drawn to your quiet confidence, your ability to stand firm in your own truth, and your genuine respect for others. You create an environment where mutual respect, love, and understanding can thrive. You are no longer seeking approval or validation from others, which means you are free to engage in relationships based on authenticity, rather than neediness or insecurity. This shift allows you to form deeper, more meaningful connections, where you are loved and valued for who you truly are. The silence of self-worth is also transformative when it comes to failure or setbacks. Many people tie their sense of value to their success or accomplishments, believing that they are only worthy if they are winning, achieving, or meeting societal standards. But when your self-worth is silent, it is not shaken by failure. You understand that failure is a part of the journey, a lesson to be learned, not a reflection of your inherent worth. You no longer tie your sense of self to external outcomes. Instead, you take each experience, good or bad, as an opportunity to grow without questioning your value as a person. The power of self-worth lies in its quiet resilience. It is a strength that cannot be easily rattled or taken away. It does not require external validation or loud declarations. It is a steady knowing, a calm confidence that comes from within, and it is the foundation upon which you can build a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. When you truly understand your worth, you no longer need to prove it to anyone. You simply embody it in every action, every thought, and every word. And in doing so, you create a life that reflects the quiet, powerful truth of who you truly are. Reclaiming the throne is a metaphorical journey of rediscovering and asserting one's inherent power, authority, and right to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. It is the process of taking back what is rightfully yours, your sense of self, your confidence, and your sovereignty over your own life. Life may have challenged you, and external circumstances may have led you to doubt your worth or potential. But reclaiming the throne is about overcoming those struggles and stepping back into your true power. It is about remembering who you are, asserting your place in the world, and refusing to allow external forces to dictate your path. At some point in our lives, we may all find ourselves feeling like we've lost our seat of power. Whether it's through relationships that have drained us, failures that have humbled us, or negative circumstances that have shaped our beliefs, we may begin to doubt our abilities or lose touch with our inner strength. But the throne is always there, waiting to be reclaimed. It never truly left, it was simply abandoned for a time. Reclaiming it is not about seeking external validation or approval, but about turning inward and rediscovering the untapped potential that lies within. Reclaiming the throne starts with acknowledging your own worth. You must first recognize that you are worthy of the life you desire, the love you deserve, and the success you seek. And so often people allow external opinions, past failures, or societal expectations to convince them that they are not enough. They shrink in the presence of others, doubt their abilities, and relinquish their dreams because they believe they are unworthy. But this belief is a lie. You are not defined by the setbacks or struggles you faced. Your worth is inherent and immutable. To reclaim the throne, you must step out of the shadow of self-doubt and into the light of self-empowerment. This requires shedding the limiting beliefs that have held you back and embracing the truth that you have always been capable of greatness. The act of reclaiming the throne is also about setting boundaries and refusing to tolerate anything less than what you deserve. For many, this is one of the most difficult steps in the journey. We often allow others to overstep our boundaries, whether it's in relationships, work, or even with our own inner dialogue. We let the demands of others dictate how we spend our time, energy, and resources. We neglect ourselves in favor of pleasing others or seeking their approval. But when you reclaim your throne, you stop giving your power away. You begin to set clear boundaries and communicate your needs and desires with confidence. You no longer allow others to dictate your worth or decide how much space you should occupy in the world. Your throne is yours to claim, and you will not let anyone take it from you. The throne is also about embracing your uniqueness. You are not here to be a copy of someone else or to conform to society's standards of success or happiness. The throne you are meant to sit on is uniquely yours, and it requires you to step fully into your authentic self. This means releasing the need to compare yourself to others, to chase after what everyone else is doing, or to seek approval from the outside world. When you reclaim your throne, you do so on your own terms, embracing your individuality and recognizing that your path is one that only you can walk. This is the essence of true sovereignty, to be in complete alignment with who you are, not who others expect you to be. Another key element of reclaiming the throne is forgiving yourself and letting go of past regrets. Many people struggle with the weight of past mistakes, failures, or missed opportunities. These experiences can create a heavy burden, making it feel as though you are unworthy or incapable of achieving your goals. However, no one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes along the way. The process of reclaiming your throne involves forgiving yourself for your past missteps and understanding that they do not define you. They are simply lessons on the journey. By releasing the grip of past regret, you free yourself to step into your true power and move forward with renewed purpose and clarity. The throne is also an act of trust in yourself and trust in the universe. There will always be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But when you trust yourself, you trust that you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. You trust that your inner wisdom, your intuition, and your resilience will guide you through life's obstacles. You also trust that the universe has a plan for you, and that everything you have experienced, both the good and the bad, has led you to this moment of reclamation. Trust is the fuel that drives the journey forward, propelling you to move past fear and uncertainty and to claim what is yours with confidence. Reclaiming the throne is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing process. Life will continue to present challenges, and the pull of external influences may always try to convince you to relinquish your power. But each time you assert your boundaries, remember your worth, and embrace your unique path, you strengthen your position on the throne. You become more resolute in your self-belief, more confident in your decisions, and more steadfast in your vision for your life. The throne is not something that can be taken away from you once you reclaim it. It is yours to sit upon for as long as you choose. Reclaiming the throne is about stepping into your full potential and living a life that reflects your true worth. It is about letting go of the limitations that have held you back and embracing the power that has always been within you. When you take your rightful place, you begin to create a life that is in alignment with your deepest desires, a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and empowered. The throne is yours for the taking. Reclaim it and begin to live the life you were always meant to lead. Energy flows where attention goes. This simple but profound concept reveals the deep connection between our focus and the results we experience in life. The energy that we put into something, whether it's a thought, a task, or a goal, is the energy that grows. Our attention, the spotlight of our awareness, directs where our energy will flow, and therefore it determines what we manifest in our lives. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are constantly creating through the energy we direct with our thoughts, feelings, and actions. When we place our attention on something, we are essentially feeding it with our energy. This energy can take many forms, including our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions. For example, When we focus on negative thoughts or worries, we are pouring our energy into those concerns, and as a result, we attract more of what we fear or dread. On the other hand, when we focus on positive thoughts, gratitude, and optimism, we are directing our energy into these more constructive aspects, which naturally leads to more positive experiences. This is not just an abstract idea, it's a fundamental law of how the universe operates. Like a magnet, our attention draws similar energies toward us, and as a result, our reality reflects what we focus on most. In life, we often get distracted by external circumstances or negative thoughts that pull our attention away from what we truly desire. These distractions can feel overwhelming, and it can seem like we have no control over where our energy goes. But the truth is, we always have the power to choose where to direct our attention. It's easy to focus on problems, challenges, or what is not working. But by doing so, we only strengthen those things in our lives. Instead, we can choose to shift our focus to solutions, possibilities, and the positive aspects of our situation, thereby allowing the energy to flow toward growth and improvement. The practice of mindfulness is one way to bring awareness to where our attention goes. By consciously paying attention to our thoughts and feelings, we can catch ourselves when we begin to focus on the negative or unproductive. Mindfulness allows us to redirect our attention and energy, empowering us to make more intentional choices. It's a practice that encourages us to step back from the chaos of life and observe the patterns in our thoughts. In doing so, we become more aware of how much energy we waste on things that don't serve us, and we can consciously choose to invest that energy in pursuits that align with our highest good. Our relationships are another area where the principle of energy flows, where attention goes holds significant meaning. If we direct our attention toward understanding, appreciation, and connection with others, the energy in those relationships grows, and so does the bond between us. However, if our attention is consumed with judgment, resentment, or criticism, those relationships tend to deteriorate. In any interaction, our energy is influenced by where we place our attention. When we choose to listen attentively, show empathy, and invest in positive communication, the relationship becomes stronger and more fulfilling. On the other hand, when we focus on flaws, disagreements, or negative aspects, the energy in the relationship becomes heavy and strained. The same principle applies to our goals and ambitions. What we focus on expands. If we focus on our goals with clarity and intention, we naturally begin to take actions that align with them. The energy we invest in our dreams, whether it's through planning, visualization, or consistent effort, multiplies, propelling us closer to what we want to achieve. On the other hand, if we spend our time doubting ourselves, worrying about potential failure, or focusing on obstacles, our energy is drained, and the progress toward our goals slows or halts altogether. In order to manifest what we desire, we must direct our attention to the end result, to the feelings and thoughts that support our vision, and to the small steps that will take us closer to our dreams. In the context of self-care, this idea also plays a pivotal role. Many people neglect their own well-being because they are distracted by the demands of life or the needs of others. Their attention is constantly going outward, leaving little energy for themselves. However, when we direct our attention inward and prioritize self-care, whether it's through rest, reflection, healthy habits, or pursuing passions that bring us joy, we direct energy toward nurturing ourselves. This creates a cycle of replenishment, where the more energy we give to ourselves, the more we have to give to others and to our goals. By shifting our focus inward, we recharge our physical, emotional, and mental health, which in turn enhances every other area of our life. Our environment also responds to where we direct our energy. Whether it's the physical spaces we inhabit or the people we surround ourselves with, the energy of our surroundings reflects the energy we put into them. When we place our attention on creating a peaceful, organized, and uplifting space, the environment around us shifts and we experience a greater sense of harmony. If we neglect the energy in our environment, whether it's through clutter, disorganization, or toxic relationships, we begin to feel drained, stressed, or stagnant. The principle is clear: energy flows where attention goes, and our surroundings are no different. In times of adversity or challenge, it becomes even more crucial to be mindful of where we place our attention. It's easy to get lost in the struggle, to feel overwhelmed by difficulties, but by consciously shifting our attention to solutions, gratitude, and opportunities, we change the flow of energy. This shift doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means consciously choosing to focus on what you can control, what you can learn from the situation, and how you can grow through the challenge. When we focus on the opportunities within adversity, we begin to notice them and start to take empowered action. Energy truly flows where attention goes. The universe responds to our focus, amplifying whatever we give our energy to. By being mindful of where we place our attention, we can consciously create a reality that reflects our desires, dreams, and highest potential. Whether it's in our relationships, careers, or personal growth, we have the power to choose where to direct our energy, and in doing so, we shape the world around us. The key is awareness, intentionality, and understanding the profound impact of where we place our focus. When we choose to direct our attention toward positive, empowering thoughts, goals, and actions, the energy flows in a way that serves our highest good. Absence makes the heart seek. This timeless expression holds a deep truth about human nature and relationships. It speaks to the powerful effect that distance and separation have on our emotions, desires, and connections. When we are separated from someone or something we care about, a void is created, one that stirs an intense longing within us. This absence often acts as a catalyst for introspection, personal growth, and even deeper appreciation for what is missing. The heart, in its pursuit of fulfillment, naturally seeks what is absent, drawing us toward the very things we may take for granted when they are within reach. At its core, the concept of absence making the heart seek is rooted in the emotional dynamics of longing and desire. When we are constantly surrounded by the people, experiences, or things that we value, we can become complacent. We may not fully appreciate their presence until they are no longer around. It is only in the absence of someone or something that we realize how much it truly means to us. This absence creates an emotional void that triggers our hearts to seek what has been lost or what is missing, pushing us to recognize the value of what we had and to pursue it once more. This phenomenon is not just limited to romantic relationships, although it is often most apparent in such contexts. In any relationship, be it familial, friendship, or romantic, the presence of the other person provides a sense of comfort, security, and belonging. When that person is absent, whether due to physical distance, emotional separation, or any form of disconnection, the absence can feel overwhelming. The heart begins to seek that connection again, and this yearning can lead to personal reflection and growth. The absence makes us question why the relationship mattered, what it brought to our lives, and how we can better nurture those bonds when they are present again. It is in the absence of someone we love that we may also discover the depth of our own feelings. We might not recognize how deeply we care until the person is not there to share in the moments of daily life. The heart's longing can serve as a reminder of the emotional importance of that individual, and in turn it offers an opportunity for growth in how we express and cherish our emotions. Often the absence creates a space for us to reflect on how we want to show up in the relationship moving forward, and how we might be more present and appreciative when the other person returns. This principle also extends to the things we pursue in life. We may take certain experiences, achievements, or dreams for granted when they are easily accessible. However, once those opportunities are out of reach, whether by circumstance, limitation, or change, we begin to truly appreciate their value. The absence of these opportunities sparks the heart to seek again, to reach toward new possibilities and rediscover passions that may have been forgotten or overlooked. The heart longs for what it once had or for what it has yet to experience. It pushes us to pursue new ventures, to reignite old dreams, and to take action on what was once only a distant hope. Absence also brings clarity. It provides a contrast that allows us to see things more clearly. When we have too much of something, it can become routine or even burdensome. But when we experience a loss or a gap in our lives, we are forced to evaluate the role that particular person, experience, or thing played in our lives. What we thought we could live without suddenly becomes something we crave. This clarity is often accompanied by a sense of appreciation for the things we had taken for granted. We are reminded of how important it is to make the most of what is currently within our reach, and to treasure the relationships and experiences that bring us joy. There is also an aspect of self-discovery that comes with the absence of something or someone important. The longing that emerges in such moments often reveals unmet needs, desires, and personal aspirations. It is in the absence that we may confront parts of ourselves that we were not fully aware of before. The heart's search is not just for the other person or the external circumstances, but also for deeper fulfillment within ourselves. In some cases, the absence of a person or situation may illuminate what we truly need in order to grow, heal, or evolve. It acts as a mirror, reflecting what is lacking or what has been hidden beneath the surface. But absence can also foster a sense of appreciation for the present moment. When we are no longer able to be with someone or engage in a particular experience, we may realize how precious those moments were. The heart's desire to seek what is absent often brings a deeper understanding of the fleeting nature of time and the importance of embracing the present. It teaches us to cherish what we have, to be present in the moment, and to express gratitude for the people and experiences that shape our lives. The heart's longing in absence can also be a source of inspiration and motivation. Often it sparks a drive to reconnect, to rebuild, or to pursue new opportunities. The yearning for something lost or unattainable drives us to act, to seek fulfillment, and to move forward. It is the fuel for change, pushing us to take steps we might have hesitated to take before. Absence, in its way, acts as a catalyst for transformation, prompting us to search for new paths, rekindle old connections, or rediscover forgotten passions. Absence is not always a negative force. While it may bring pain, longing, and heartache, it also brings growth, clarity, and understanding. It encourages the heart to seek what is lost, to appreciate what is truly valuable, and to discover new aspects of ourselves. It invites us to reflect on what we truly desire, to understand our own needs, and to pursue deeper connections with both ourselves and others. Absence, in its silent power, is a reminder that love, longing, and desire are forces that guide us toward greater self-awareness, connection, and fulfillment. The heart's search, fueled by absence, leads us to the realization that what we seek is often the key to unlocking our truest potential. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to get swept away by external distractions, work, relationships, social expectations, and the constant demands of technology. Our attention often shifts outward, causing us to neglect the one thing that can profoundly shape our reality, our inner world. Yet our external circumstances are merely reflections of our internal state. What we experience in the physical world is directly influenced by the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that reside within us. To truly transform our lives, we must first learn to focus on our inner world. The inner world is the realm of our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and perceptions. It is where we hold our true essence and the source of all our experiences. Everything we encounter in life is filtered through the lens of our inner world. Our reactions to events, people, and situations are all shaped by how we internally interpret the world around us. If we want to create lasting change, we must start by looking within, becoming aware of the thoughts that dominate our minds, and questioning the beliefs that dictate our actions. At the heart of focusing on your inner world is the idea of self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to observe and understand your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. It involves stepping back and looking at yourself from a place of neutrality, as if you were an outsider. This practice allows you to notice patterns in your thinking, emotions, and actions, and gives you the power to choose how to respond to life's challenges rather than reacting impulsively. By cultivating self-awareness, you can break free from automatic behaviors and start making conscious choices that align with your true desires and goals. Another essential aspect of focusing on your inner world is the power of self-talk. The way we speak to ourselves shapes our self-esteem, confidence, and sense of worth. If our inner dialogue is filled with negativity, self-doubt, or criticism, we begin to believe these thoughts as truths. Our inner narrative directly impacts how we perceive ourselves and how we show up in the world. Conversely, when we replace negative self-talk with affirmations of self-love, gratitude, and encouragement, we begin to reprogram our subconscious mind. Positive self-talk fosters a sense of empowerment, resilience, and trust in our abilities, which is essential for navigating life's challenges with grace and determination. Focusing on your inner world also means cultivating a healthy relationship with your emotions. Emotions are powerful indicators of where we are in life and what we are experiencing. However, many of us have been taught to suppress or ignore our feelings in favor of maintaining control or pleasing others. In doing so, we deny ourselves the opportunity to fully process and understand our emotions. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, is a key skill for living a balanced life. When we focus on our inner world, we give ourselves permission to feel all emotions, both positive and negative, without judgment. This creates a deeper sense of emotional freedom, allowing us to release pent-up feelings and heal from past wounds. Taking responsibility for your inner world is also a crucial step in the process. Often we tend to blame external circumstances for our unhappiness or dissatisfaction. We may believe that if only the world would change, or if others would behave differently, we would be happy. However, true empowerment comes from recognizing that we have the power to change our inner world, regardless of what is happening around us. By taking ownership of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we reclaim our power and begin to shape the life we desire from the inside out. There is a profound power that exists beyond the limits of our understanding, a force that governs the ebb and flow of our lives, orchestrating circumstances, people, and events in ways that often seem beyond our control. This force is the universe. Many of us try to shape and manipulate our lives, exerting control over every detail, thinking that we must do everything ourselves in order to manifest our desires. But the truth is, when we learn to let the universe work, we open ourselves to the flow of life's magic and abundance. We allow the natural rhythm of existence to guide us toward the experiences, opportunities, and outcomes that are truly meant for us. The idea of letting the universe work is rooted in the belief that there is a higher intelligence at play, one that is always conspiring in our favor, even if we don't always see the immediate results. We live in a world of infinite possibility, where the universe has an uncanny way of bringing the right circumstances to us when we are in alignment with our desires and intentions. The key is to trust the process, to have faith that things will unfold in their own time, and to stop trying to force outcomes that may not be in our highest good. One of the first steps in allowing the universe to work is to let go of the need for control. We are often conditioned to believe that success, happiness, and fulfillment come from exerting control over every aspect of our lives. We believe that we must plan every move, direct every action, and manage every outcome. While action and intention are important, constantly trying to micromanage the details of our lives can create unnecessary stress and block the flow of energy. When we release the need to control, we open ourselves to receiving in ways that we may not have expected. Letting go of control also means surrendering to uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes things don't go according to plan. We may face setbacks, challenges, or detours on our journey. However, these are often not signs of failure, but rather part of the universe's process of guiding us to the right path. When we let go of the need to predict every outcome, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration of trying to force things to happen. Instead, we allow space for serendipity, unexpected opportunities, and synchronicities to enter our lives. By embracing uncertainty, we trust that the universe will lead us where we need to go. Another crucial aspect of letting the universe work is practicing patience. In a world where instant gratification is often the norm, it can be challenging to trust that things are unfolding in their own time. We live in an era where everything is available at the touch of a button, but not everything in life works this way. Some desires take time to manifest. Whether it's a career change, a relationship, or personal growth, things often need to align and evolve at their own pace. When we learn to be patient and trust in divine timing, we allow the universe to work behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways we cannot always see or understand. Patience is not about passively waiting for things to happen. It's about remaining in a state of trust and openness while continuing to take inspired action. The universe may be working on our behalf, but we still have a role to play in the process. We must align ourselves with the frequency of our desires, and this requires effort. This could mean taking steps towards our goals, shifting our mindset, or simply being open to receiving what is coming our way. But we do so with the understanding that, in the grand scheme of things, the universe is orchestrating the details in ways that are far beyond our limited vision. Another key to allowing the universe to work is to release attachment to the outcome. Often we become fixated on a specific outcome or timeline, believing that if we don't achieve our goals in a particular way or at a particular time, we have failed. However, when we attach too strongly to a specific result, we may inadvertently block the flow of energy that could bring us something even better. The universe works in mysterious ways, and what we think we want may not always be what is best for us. By releasing attachment to the outcome, we create space for the universe to deliver what we truly need, which may be different from what we initially envisioned. This is where the power of faith comes in. Faith is not about blind belief in something without evidence, but rather a deep trust in the process of life itself. It's knowing that, even when things seem unclear or uncertain, everything is happening for a reason. It's trusting that the universe has a plan for us, even when we cannot see the full picture. Faith allows us to remain hopeful and open, even when faced with challenges. It empowers us to continue moving forward, knowing that the right opportunities, people, and circumstances will present themselves at the right time. The universe responds to our energy, and the more we align ourselves with the energy of trust, gratitude, and abundance, the more the universe will bring us what we desire. Gratitude is a powerful tool for attracting more of what we want. When we appreciate what we already have, we signal to the universe that we are open to receiving even more. This shift in mindset transforms our energy, making us magnetic to the very things we seek. Gratitude helps us focus on the present moment, allowing us to see the blessings that are already present in our lives. In doing so, we create space for more of these blessings to flow into our experience. The idea of letting the universe work also involves staying in alignment with our authentic selves. Often we get caught up in societal expectations, other people's opinions, or the pursuit of superficial goals. But when we focus on what truly resonates with our soul, we align ourselves with the universe's greater plan for our lives. When we are true to ourselves, we attract experiences and people that are in harmony with our values, desires, and purpose. The universe works best when we are in alignment with our deepest truth, and this requires listening to our inner guidance and intuition. Letting the universe work is about trusting in the law of attraction, like attracts like. When we align ourselves with the energy of abundance, love, and joy, we attract more of the same into our lives. The universe responds to our vibration, and by maintaining a positive, optimistic outlook, we invite greater prosperity, happiness, and fulfillment into our reality. Letting the universe work is about surrendering to the flow of life, trusting in divine timing, and allowing the natural forces of the universe to guide us toward what we desire. It's about releasing the need for control, practicing patience, and maintaining faith that everything is unfolding as it should. When we let go and trust, we make space for the universe to bring us the perfect outcomes, in the perfect timing, and in ways that exceed our expectations. Through this trust, we tap into the infinite power of the universe, creating the life we were always meant to live. In conclusion, the key to transforming our lives and manifesting our desires lies in learning to trust the process and letting the universe work. By surrendering control, embracing patience, and releasing attachment to specific outcomes, we create space for divine timing and unseen forces to guide us toward the perfect circumstances. Faith in the universe's plan, combined with alignment to our true selves, opens the door to infinite possibilities, allowing us to attract the right experiences, people, and opportunities into our lives. The universe is always working on your behalf, and when you trust and allow it to unfold, you align yourself with the flow of life's abundant energy. So let go of the need to micromanage every detail, stay open to what's coming, and allow the universe to surprise you with its infinite wisdom. Thank you for listening, and may you embrace the power of letting the universe work in your life. There is a timeless truth that governs the workings of life, and love what is meant for you cannot be missed. The moment you plant the seed of desire within your mind, it begins to take root. But the key to its fulfillment is not in the frantic chase, but in the quiet assurance that it is already yours. You must understand, dear one, that the world you see is merely a reflection of your inner state. If you believe that love is something to pursue, to chase, to grasp with desperation, you will find yourself running endlessly. But if you rest in the truth that love is a natural expression of who you are, then love will find its way to you without effort. Stillness is the most profound power you possess. In a world constantly moving, where people rush to fulfill their desires and chase fleeting goals, it is the one who can sit in quiet assurance who commands life's unfolding. Stillness is not idleness, it is the calm, deliberate awareness that the fulfillment of your desires is already within you. It is the recognition that nothing outside of you has the power to grant you what you seek. You connect to the infinite power of creation. When you are still, you quiet the noise of doubt, fear, and desperation. You silence the voice that says you must act, fight, or struggle to receive. Instead, you tune into a deeper truth. Everything you desire already exists within the invisible realm, and it is your inner state that draws it forth into the visible. The moment you still your mind, you step into harmony with the forces that shape your world. People often believe that action is the key to getting what they want. They run, chase, and exhaust themselves trying to manipulate circumstances. But their frantic efforts only create resistance because they operate from a state of lack. They believe they must do in order to have. This is the great illusion. True power does not come from doing, it comes from being. And to be requires stillness. Stillness is not passive. It is the active choice to align with the state of fulfillment, to rest in the feeling of having already received. When you sit quietly and imagine your desire as a present reality, you are performing the most potent act of creation. You are planting the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. From there it grows, nourished by your faith and conviction, until it inevitably manifests in your experience. When you are still, you do not chase. You do not plead or force. You simply allow. You trust that the universe knows the perfect way to bring your desire to you in the perfect time. Your task is not to figure out the how or the when. Your task is to stay anchored in the knowing that it is done. This knowing is the essence of stillness. It is the quiet confidence that life is working in your favor, even when you cannot yet see the results. Stillness also allows you to hear the whispers of intuition. When your mind is cluttered with worry or overrun with endless plans, you miss the subtle guidance that comes from within. But when you are still, you open the channel to receive inspiration. The ideas, insights, and opportunities begin to flow to you effortlessly. You no longer have to struggle to make things happen, because you are aligned with the natural flow of creation. The power of stillness lies in its ability to shift your state of being. When you are still, you move from a state of lack to a state of abundance. You stop focusing on what is missing and start embodying the feeling of fulfillment. And it is this feeling, not your actions, that shapes your reality. The world reflects your inner state like a mirror. If you are restless, anxious, or doubtful, your world will reflect that. But if you are still, calm, and assured, your world will mirror that peace and bring forth your desires with ease. Stillness is an act of surrender, but not in the sense of giving up. It is the surrender of resistance. It is letting go of the need to control and trusting that life's wisdom is greater than your own. When you surrender, you step out of the way and allow the forces of the universe to work on your behalf. You stop interfering with their flow and start cooperating with it. In stillness, you discover that the real journey is not about changing the external world, but about transforming within. It is about becoming the person who naturally attracts what they desire. When you are still, you allow yourself to feel as though your desire is already fulfilled. This feeling is the bridge that connects the invisible with the visible, the unmanifested with the manifested. Stillness is a practice. It requires patience and faith. There will be moments when the urge to act impulsively or to doubt creeps in. But in those moments, return to stillness. Remind yourself that there is nothing to fear, nothing to force. All you need is already yours. Sit with that truth. Breathe it in. Let it settle into every corner of your being. The greatest movements of life arise from stillness. The seed does not strain to grow, it simply rests in the soil, trusting the process of life. The same is true for you. Rest in the soil of your own inner knowing. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly. Be still and know that you are already complete. In this stillness, you unlock the limitless power within you, and the world bends to reflect your state of grace. Imagination is the invisible hand that shapes the reality you experience. Every structure, every invention, every moment of beauty or triumph began first as an image in someone's mind. Before it was seen in the physical world, it was felt, envisioned, and brought to life in the realm of imagination. This is the secret to creation. The world you live in is merely a reflection of the thoughts and images you hold within. When you grasp the power of imagination, you realize that nothing is truly beyond your reach. Your imagination is the workshop of creation. It is here that you build the blueprint for the life you desire. Yet many people misuse this power. Instead of imagining possibilities, they dwell on fears, failures, or limitations. They replay the worst-case scenarios in their minds and wonder why their lives mirror these fears. They do not realize that their imagination, whether consciously directed or not, is constantly creating their reality. To harness the power of imagination, you must understand that it works in alignment with your feelings and beliefs. It is not enough to simply think about what you want. You must feel it as though it is already real. When you imagine yourself living the life you desire, fully immersed in the experience, your subconscious mind begins to accept this as your truth. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It takes your inner vision as fact and works tirelessly to bring it to fruition. Think of your imagination as the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. Every detail matters. If you want abundance, imagine yourself surrounded by prosperity. Feel the joy and relief of having more than enough. See the details clearly. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Let those feelings saturate your being. This act of creative imagining is not a mere exercise, it is the foundation upon which your future is built. The key is to imagine from the end. Do not imagine yourself desiring or striving for your goal, as that only reinforces the state of lack. Instead, place yourself in the scene where your desire is already fulfilled. If it is love you seek, imagine yourself in a loving relationship. Feel the warmth, the companionship, the laughter. Make it real in your mind. By doing so, you are telling the universe, "This is who I am." And the universe responds by aligning your reality with your new identity. This power, however, requires discipline. It is not enough to imagine once or twice and then revert to old patterns of doubt and worry. You must persist in your vision, even when there is no immediate evidence that your desire is on its way. Faith is the bridge that connects your imagination to reality. When you persistently hold an image in your mind, with faith that it will come to pass, you set into motion forces that are beyond your conscious understanding. Your imagination is also the key to overcoming obstacles. When faced with challenges, do not dwell on the problem. Instead, use your imagination to see the solution. Envision yourself already victorious, already thriving. This mental shift not only changes your perspective, but also opens the door for solutions to reveal themselves. Your imagination is not bound by the limitations of logic or circumstances. It sees beyond what is and focuses on what can be. The beauty of imagination is that it allows you to become the architect of your own destiny. You are not a victim of circumstances or a puppet of fate. You have the power to create, to shape, to design the life you want. But this power requires you to take responsibility for your thoughts. You must choose your inner images with care, knowing that they will shape the world around you. Imagine boldly, without fear or doubt. Do not limit yourself by what seems possible or practical. Remember, the purpose of imagination is to transcend the limitations of the present moment and reach into the infinite realm of possibility. Trust in this process. What you vividly imagine with feeling and faith must come to pass. This is not a matter of chance, but of law. In the quiet moments of your day, close your eyes and enter the world of imagination. Build there the life you wish to live. Make it as real and vivid as you can. Then carry the feeling of that imagined reality into your waking moments. Let it guide your actions, your decisions, and your interactions. Over time, you will see that your outer world begins to shift, aligning itself with the vision you have held within. Letting go does not mean giving up on your desires. It means surrendering the need to control how and when they manifest. It means moving from a state of lack to a state of faith. This faith is not blind optimism, but a deep knowing that life is working in your favor, even if you cannot yet see the results. When you let go, you shift your focus from external striving to internal alignment. This shift is where true power lies. The act of letting go requires patience and trust, both of which can feel challenging in a world that glorifies hustle and instant gratification. But remember, the greatest transformations often occur in stillness. When you stop chasing and start trusting, you open yourself to possibilities that you might have overlooked in your frantic pursuit. You begin to notice the subtle signs, the intuitive nudges, and the opportunities that were always there but hidden from your view. Another key to releasing the need to chase is cultivating a sense of worthiness. Often the impulse to chase stems from a subconscious belief that you are not enough as you are, that you must earn or prove your worth to receive what you want. But the truth is, you are already deserving. Your worth is inherent and unchanging. When you embrace this truth, you no longer feel the need to grasp or cling. Instead, you attract effortlessly because you radiate confidence and self-assurance. Releasing the need to chase is an act of self-love. It is a declaration that you trust yourself and the unfolding of your journey. It is choosing peace over desperation, alignment over effort, and faith over fear. When you embody this state, you become magnetic. You draw to you the people, circumstances, and opportunities that resonate with your energy. You no longer have to chase, because everything you desire flows naturally into your life. The paradox of letting go is that it often accelerates the manifestation of your desires. When you stop chasing, you stop creating resistance. You step into the flow of life, where things happen with ease and grace. This doesn't mean you sit idle, it means you take inspired action from a place of alignment and trust, rather than from a place of fear and lack. As you release the need to chase, you will find a sense of freedom. No longer bound by the pressure to pursue, you can focus on becoming the best version of yourself. You can nurture your dreams, follow your passions, and enjoy the present moment, knowing that everything you desire is already on its way. Trust in this process. Let go of the chase, and watch as life begins to unfold in ways that are far greater than you could have imagined. The state of being is the foundation of everything you experience in life. It is the silent force shaping your reality, often without your conscious awareness. While action has its place in the physical world, it is secondary to the state from which you act. The most transformative and fulfilling outcomes arise not from frantic activity, but from a state of being that is aligned with your desires. To truly create the life you want, you must focus on your state of being first, allowing your actions to flow naturally and effortlessly from that inner alignment. The world often glorifies action. It rewards busyness, hustle, and relentless effort. Society teaches that if you want something, you must chase it, fight for it, and never stop until you achieve it. But what if this constant striving is not the way to true fulfillment? What if the most effective path begins not with doing but with being? Your state of being, the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs you carry within determines the quality of your actions and the results they produce. Action that arises from a state of doubt, fear, or lack will always fall short. no matter how much effort you put in. When you prioritize your state of being, you are aligning yourself with the outcomes you desire. Think of it as tuning a radio. You cannot hear your favorite station unless you first adjust the dial to the correct frequency. In the same way, you cannot attract what you truly want unless you align your state of being with the frequency of those desires. This alignment happens through feelings, thoughts, and beliefs that resonate with the life you wish to create. When you embody the state of someone who already has what they want, your actions become natural expressions of that state. Consider this: a person who feels abundant will naturally take actions that reflect abundance. They will make decisions confidently, share generously, and embrace opportunities with ease. On the other hand, a person who feels scarcity, even if they work tirelessly, will approach life with hesitation, fear, and a tendency to hold back. Their state of being undermines their actions. The difference is not in the effort, but in the energy behind the effort. This is why focusing on your state of being is so essential. It ensures that every action you take is infused with the power to manifest your desired outcome. The key to cultivating the right state of being is self-awareness. Take time to observe your inner world. What are you feeling? What thoughts dominate your mind? Are they aligned with what you want to create, or are they rooted in fear and doubt? Awareness is the first step toward transformation. Once you recognize the state you are in, you can consciously choose a new one. This is not about forcing yourself to feel something you don't truly believe, but about gently shifting your focus toward the emotions and thoughts that support your desired reality. Visualization and imagination are powerful tools for aligning your state of being. When you vividly imagine yourself living the life you desire, your mind begins to accept it as your reality. Close your eyes and see yourself as the person you want to be. Feel the emotions of already having what you seek. Let that feeling saturate your being. This practice is not about escaping the present, but about creating a new inner reality that will inevitably manifest outwardly. When your state of being changes, your actions and experiences follow suit. Trust plays a significant role in shifting from action-driven to being-centered living. Trust that the universe, or the higher power you believe in, is working in harmony with your intentions. Trust that you don't need to control every detail or force outcomes. This trust allows you to relax into your state of being, knowing that it is enough to set the wheels of creation in motion. When you act from a place of trust, your actions are inspired and effortless, rather than forced and exhausting. It is important to remember that action is not the enemy. It is a necessary part of life, but it must be the servant of your state of being, not the master. Action taken from alignment is powerful and effective. It feels natural, as if you are being carried by a current rather than swimming against it. You may still work hard, but the work will feel joyful and purposeful, because it is in harmony with your inner state. The key is not to abandon action, but to ensure it flows from a place of clarity and alignment. This principle applies to every area of life. In relationships, for example, trying to win someone's affection through relentless effort rarely works. True connection arises from a state of being that radiates love, confidence, and authenticity. In career and business, success comes not from working yourself to exhaustion, but from embodying the qualities of someone who is already successful: vision, confidence, and a sense of purpose. When you focus on your state of being, you reclaim your power. You realize that you are not at the mercy of external circumstances. Instead, you are the creator of your reality. Everything begins within, and when you align your inner world with your desires, the outer world responds in kind. This is not magic, it is a fundamental truth of existence. By prioritizing your state of being over action, you unlock a life of greater ease, joy, and fulfillment. You become a living example of the profound truth that who you are is far more important than what you do. Letting go of resistance is one of the most liberating choices you can make. Resistance is the invisible wall that blocks your flow, the inner tension that keeps you disconnected from the peace, joy, and abundance that are naturally yours. It shows up in subtle ways: doubts, fears, frustrations, or the need to control every outcome. Yet the very act of resisting what is creates a cycle of struggle, leaving you trapped in patterns that prevent you from moving forward. To let go of resistance is to release the weight that holds you down and to step into a life of freedom and ease. Resistance often stems from the mind's attachment to how things should be. We create rigid expectations about how events should unfold, how others should behave, or how quickly we should achieve our goals. When reality does not conform to these expectations, resistance arises. It manifests as frustration, impatience, or even despair. The more tightly we cling to these expectations, the more we suffer. This suffering is not caused by the situation itself, but by our refusal to accept it as it is. The goal of resistance begins with awareness. You must first notice when and where resistance is present in your life. It could be in the form of a lingering resentment, an unresolved fear, or a constant feeling of pushing against something. Pay attention to your emotions and your body. Resistance often reveals itself as tension, a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, or a racing mind. These signals are your invitation to pause, reflect, and let go. To let go does not mean to give up or resign yourself to an undesirable fate. It means to release the inner struggle against what is. It means to accept the present moment fully, not because you necessarily like it, but because resisting it will not change it. Acceptance is not passive. It is a powerful act of surrender that aligns you with the flow of life. When you accept what is, you create space for transformation. You move from a place of resistance to one of possibility. The key to releasing resistance lies in shifting your focus. Instead of obsessing over what is wrong, turn your attention to what feels good, what inspires you, or what you can appreciate right now. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to resistance. It redirects your energy from lack to abundance, from frustration to contentment. By focusing on what you are grateful for, you soften the grip of resistance and open yourself to the natural flow of life. Letting go of resistance also requires trust. Trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it does not match your expectations. Trust that every challenge carries within it the seed of growth, and that every delay serves a purpose. When you trust the process, you no longer feel the need to force outcomes or control every detail. Instead, you can relax into the rhythm of life, knowing that you are always being guided toward your highest good. One of the most effective ways to release resistance is through mindfulness. Mindfulness brings you into the present moment, where resistance cannot exist. Resistance thrives in the stories your mind creates about the past or future, regrets about what has been or worries about what might come. In the present moment, there is only what is, and in that space you can find peace. Practice mindfulness by observing your thoughts without judgment, focusing on your breath, or simply being fully present with whatever you are doing. Another practice that helps in letting go of resistance is self-compassion. Often resistance is directed inward. We resist our own imperfections, mistakes, or feelings of vulnerability. This inner resistance creates a cycle of shame and self-criticism that keeps us stuck. By practicing self-compassion, you can break this cycle. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer to a dear friend. Acknowledge your struggles without judgment, and remind yourself that it is okay to be human. Letting go of resistance does not mean you stop pursuing your goals or dreams. It means you stop fighting against the current and start flowing with it. When you let go of resistance, your actions become inspired rather than forced. You are no longer driven by fear or frustration, but by a sense of joy and alignment. This shift in energy makes all the difference. What once felt like an uphill battle now feels effortless. Opportunities arise, solutions present themselves, and progress happens naturally. Resistance often disguises itself as control. We believe that if we can just manage every detail, we can make things go our way. But control is an illusion. The more we try to control, the more resistance we create. True power comes from surrender, not control. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means letting go of the need to force outcomes and trusting that life will unfold in the best possible way. Paradoxically, it is in surrender that you find your greatest strength. When you let go of resistance, you open yourself to the flow of life. You align with the natural rhythm of the universe, where everything happens in its perfect time and order. You become a co-creator with life, rather than its adversary. The energy you once spent on struggle and frustration is now available for creativity, joy, and growth. Letting go of resistance is not a one-time event, it is a daily practice, a continual choice to release and trust. Life becomes infinitely more beautiful when you let go of resistance. You no longer carry the heavy burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. You free yourself to experience the present moment fully and to embrace the endless possibilities that arise when you are in flow. Let go of resistance, and you will discover a deeper peace, a greater ease, and a life that feels as if it is unfolding perfectly, just as it is meant to be. Beloved, hear this truth: you are standing at the threshold of a new reality. The life you have long imagined is no longer a dream, it is becoming tangible. You are entering your millionaire phase. It begins with a thought. Wealth, true wealth, is not found in the accumulation of material things, but in the richness of your imagination. You must see yourself as the architect of your fortune. Picture it now: the home, the freedom, the opportunities. Feel it, not as a distant hope, but as a present reality. Understand this: your external world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. To claim wealth outwardly, you must first embody it inwardly. Close your eyes and feel the joy of financial freedom. Act, speak, and think from the state of abundance, and watch as the world rearranges itself to mirror your belief. Every great accomplishment in the world begins as a seed, and imagination is the fertile soil in which this seed is planted. The power to imagine is not merely an idle pastime, it is the foundational act of creation. To understand the role of imagination in wealth is to recognize that everything you see in the physical world, every skyscraper, invention, and fortune first existed as a vivid image in someone's mind. Imagination is the origin, the blueprint from which the tangible is constructed. Without it, no empire would ever rise, no dream would ever take form. When you close your eyes and allow yourself to dream, you are not engaging in fantasy but in creation. The images you hold in your mind with clarity and conviction are the seeds of your future reality. Imagine wealth now not as a distant possibility, but as a living reality. See yourself surrounded by the life you desire. Feel the texture of success, hear the sounds of abundance, and bask in the emotions of freedom. This act of focused imagination is not a trivial exercise, it is the birthing process of the wealth you seek. Wealth is not something external that you must pursue, it is an inner reality that you must conceive. Many fail to achieve their financial aspirations because they attempt to chase wealth in the outer world without first cultivating it within. They toil and struggle, mistaking effort for progress, but their results remain elusive because their inner picture is incomplete or clouded by doubt. To become wealthy, you must first see yourself as wealthy in the theater of your imagination. This is the key that unlocks all doors. The mind is a magnificent tool, capable of extraordinary feats when directed with intention. However, it cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is experienced in the physical world. This is your advantage. By repeatedly and vividly imagining yourself as wealthy, your mind begins to accept this image as reality. Your thoughts, actions, and even your perception of opportunities align with this internal belief. You no longer act as one striving for wealth, but as one who already possesses it. This alignment is the unseen force that attracts circumstances, people, and resources that bring your vision to life. Doubt often arises in this process, as the current reality may not yet reflect the wealth you desire. But this is where faith plays its role. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up each day to check if it is growing. You water it, nurture it, and trust that it will bloom in its time. Similarly, the seed of wealth you plant in your imagination must be nurtured with unwavering belief. Each time you return to your vision, you strengthen its roots. Each moment of faith adds nourishment to its growth. It is not enough to imagine sporadically or without conviction. The images you create must be vivid, detailed, and emotionally charged. Feel the joy of financial freedom, the gratitude of living without limits, and the confidence of knowing that your needs are always met. These emotions are the waters that nourish the seed of your imagination. The more you feel it, the more real it becomes, until it is impossible for the physical world not to align with your inner state. Imagination is not bound by the limitations of the material world. It does not require resources, connections, or circumstances to begin its work. This is its beauty and its power. Regardless of your current situation, you can close your eyes and enter a world of unlimited wealth and possibility. In doing so, you tap into the infinite creative force that governs all existence. You become a conscious creator, shaping your reality not through force or struggle, but through the effortless power of thought. As you persist in your vision, you will notice subtle changes. Ideas will arise, opportunities will appear, and synchronicities will unfold. These are not coincidences, but the natural outworking of the seed you have planted. The outer world is merely a reflection of the inner, and as your inner picture of wealth becomes more defined, the outer world must conform to it. This is the law of creation, immutable and universal. Never underestimate the simplicity of this process. Many dismiss imagination as idle daydreaming, failing to grasp its profound power. But those who understand its true nature recognize it as the starting point of all transformation. By imagining wealth with clarity, persistence, and faith, you set in motion the forces that bring it into being. You do not need to know how or when it will unfold. Your role is to maintain the vision and trust in its fulfillment. Wealth is not a matter of luck or circumstance, but of consciousness. It is a state of being that begins within and radiates outward. By planting the seed of wealth in your imagination, you take the first and most vital step toward its manifestation. Nurture this seed, and in time you will harvest the abundance that has always been waiting for you to claim it. The key to creating wealth lies in one profound truth: you must first feel wealthy to become wealthy. This principle may seem counterintuitive in a world where we are taught to base our reality on external circumstances. Yet the truth remains that your internal state, how you feel about yourself, and your relationship with abundance dictates the wealth that manifests in your life. Wealth is not something you chase, nor is it something you wait for. It is a feeling, a state of mind that you must assume here and now. To assume the feeling of wealth is to embody it fully in your imagination and emotions. This is not merely about visualizing wealth, but about living as though it is already yours. Close your eyes and see yourself surrounded by the life you desire. Imagine stepping into your dream home, driving the car of your dreams, or experiencing the freedom to travel without concern for cost. More importantly, feel the emotions that such a life would bring: joy, confidence, security, and gratitude. These feelings are the essence of wealth, and by embodying them, you align yourself with the frequency of abundance. The world often tells us to wait for external evidence before we allow ourselves to feel successful or wealthy. We say, "I'll feel secure when I have the money," or "I'll be confident when my bank account reflects my efforts." But this approach is backward. You cannot wait for your outer world to change before shifting your inner state. The outer world is a reflection of your inner state, not the other way around. By assuming the feeling of wealth now, regardless of your current circumstances, you set the stage for wealth to appear in your reality. This process requires imagination and faith. The imagination allows you to see beyond the limitations of your present situation, and faith ensures you persist even when external evidence seems to contradict your inner vision. Doubts may arise, whispering that what you are doing is foolish or unrealistic. But remember, the circumstances you see today are the result of your past thinking and feelings. To create a new reality, you must plant new seeds in the soil of your imagination and nurture them with unwavering belief. Assuming the feeling of wealth does not mean pretending or ignoring your current responsibilities. It means shifting your focus and energy toward the state of being you desire. For instance, if you currently feel constrained by financial stress, do not dwell on those feelings. Instead, gently redirect your focus to the feeling of freedom and abundance. This may take practice, but each time you do it, you strengthen the vibration of wealth within you. The feeling of wealth is more than just happiness or excitement. It is a calm assurance, a sense of gratitude for what you have and what is coming. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that all your needs are met, that opportunities are flowing effortlessly into your life. How would you walk, speak, and carry yourself if you were already wealthy? Begin to adopt these behaviors now, and you will find that the world starts to respond to you differently. One powerful way to embody the feeling of wealth is through gratitude. Even if your current resources feel limited, find things to be grateful for. Gratitude amplifies the energy of abundance. Each time you express gratitude for the wealth you imagine, you reinforce the belief that it is already yours. This belief is magnetic. It draws circumstances, people, and opportunities into your life that align with your feeling of abundance. It is also essential to release the fear of lack. Many people remain stuck in a cycle of financial struggle because their focus is on what they lack rather than what they desire. Fear of lack creates more lack. By assuming the feeling of wealth, you shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. You no longer act out of desperation or fear, but from a place of trust and confidence. Assuming the feeling of wealth may initially feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable if your current reality is far from what you desire. This is natural because you are retraining your mind to think and feel in new ways. Be patient with yourself. Practice daily, immersing yourself in the feelings of abundance and security. Over time, these feelings will become second nature, and your external world will begin to reflect them. Wealth is not just about money, it is a state of being. It is about freedom, joy, and the ability to live life on your terms. By assuming the feeling of wealth, you are not only attracting material abundance, but also aligning yourself with a richer, more fulfilling life. You are stepping into the version of yourself that knows no limits, a self that understands that wealth is your birthright. Trust in the process. Feel wealthy now, even if your physical senses tell you otherwise. Persist in this feeling, and the world will reshape itself to mirror your inner state. This is not wishful thinking, it is a fundamental law of creation. When you feel wealthy, you are wealthy, and everything else will follow. One of the greatest barriers to manifesting wealth, or any desire, is an attachment to how it will unfold. The human mind is deeply conditioned to seek control, to plan every step, and to demand certainty. Yet, the very act of obsessing over the how creates resistance, blocking the natural flow of events that lead to the fulfillment of your desire. To manifest effortlessly, you must learn to release the need to know the exact path and trust that the universe will arrange the perfect sequence of events to bring your vision to life. Detaching from the how does not mean abandoning your goal or becoming passive. Instead, it means relinquishing the need to micromanage the process and focusing instead on maintaining clarity and faith in your desired outcome. When you plant a seed in the ground, you trust that nature will handle the intricate processes needed for its growth. You do not dig up the seed daily to check its progress, nor do you dictate the exact way it should sprout. Similarly, when you plant the seed of your desire in your mind, your role is to nurture it with faith, not force. The need to control often stems from fear and doubt. You may fear that your desire will not materialize unless you intervene or orchestrate every detail. But this approach misunderstands the creative process. The conscious mind is limited in its capacity to predict or control the infinite variables at play in the universe. When you try to dictate the how, you restrict the possibilities to what you can conceive, ignoring the infinite ways the universe can bring your desire into being. By letting go, you open yourself to solutions and opportunities far greater than anything you could imagine. Detachment is an act of trust. It is a declaration of faith in the unseen forces that govern creation. When you release the how, you affirm that you believe in the inevitability of your desire. This faith is magnetic. It draws the right people, circumstances, and events into your life without effort. Your only job is to stay aligned with the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. The rest will take care of itself. Consider this: when you place an order at a restaurant, you do not follow the chef into the kitchen to ensure your meal is prepared correctly. You trust the process and wait in expectation. Detaching from the how in manifestation works the same way. So you place your order by imagining your desire clearly and feeling the joy of its fulfillment. Then, you allow the universe to work behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways you cannot yet perceive. Attachment to the how often creates unnecessary tension and anxiety. You may find yourself overthinking, second-guessing, or feeling discouraged when things do not happen as you expect. This state of stress blocks the very flow of energy needed to manifest your desire. In contrast, detachment brings a sense of ease and freedom. It allows you to live in the present moment, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly. Detaching from the how also helps you remain open to unexpected opportunities. Sometimes the path to your desire may take forms you did not anticipate. If you are rigidly focused on one specific way for your goal to manifest, you may overlook or even resist these opportunities. Detachment allows you to move with the flow of life, embracing the surprises and serendipities that often lead to greater outcomes than you originally imagined. This does not mean you should avoid action altogether. Inspired action plays a vital role in manifestation. However, this action should come from a place of alignment and intuition, not from a place of desperation or overthinking. When you detach from the how, you act with confidence and joy, trusting that each step you take is part of the larger plan. You do not force outcomes. Instead, you allow them to unfold naturally. To practice detachment, begin by shifting your focus. Instead of obsessing over the process, immerse yourself in the feeling of your desire already realized. Visualize your life as if your dream has come true, and let that feeling guide your thoughts and actions. When doubts or fears arise, remind yourself that the how is not your concern. Trust in the infinite intelligence of the universe to handle the details. Detachment is not about giving up, but about letting go of resistance. It is about releasing the mental struggle and embracing a state of flow. This state of trust and surrender does not diminish your power, it amplifies it. By detaching from the how, you align yourself with the natural laws of creation, allowing your desires to manifest with grace and ease. The how is the domain of the universe. Your role is to dream, believe, and act in alignment with your vision. Let go of the need to control every detail and trust that the path will reveal itself in perfect timing. Detach from the how, and you will discover that the journey is as miraculous as the destination. Persistence in your vision is the cornerstone of creation. The life you desire begins not with action, but with the unwavering ability to hold steadfast to the image of what you wish to manifest, regardless of current circumstances. This is not a passive process, it is a deliberate and continuous practice of aligning your inner world with the reality you wish to experience. To persist in the vision means to remain faithful to it, even when the physical evidence around you suggests otherwise. The journey to manifestation often tests your resolve. Life may present you with challenges, delays, or contradictions that seem to mock your vision. It is during these moments that persistence becomes crucial. The tendency for many is to abandon their vision at the first sign of difficulty, mistaking temporary setbacks for failure. But true manifestation requires an inner commitment that transcends the fleeting appearances of the external world. Your current reality is simply the result of your past thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. It is not permanent, nor does it dictate what is possible. By persisting in the vision, you shift your focus from what is to what will be. This shift in focus is the key to transformation. You cannot create a new reality while remaining anchored to the old one. Instead, you must live in the assumption of your desire already fulfilled, allowing this assumption to guide your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Persistence is not about forcing outcomes or clinging desperately to your vision. It is about faith. It is the quiet, confident knowing that what you have imagined is already yours in the unseen realm and will inevitably materialize in the physical world. This faith acts as a bridge between the invisible and the visible, drawing your desire into tangible form. When you persist in the vision, you align yourself with the frequency of your desired reality, making it impossible for it not to manifest. One of the greatest obstacles to persistence is doubt. Doubt arises when you allow your senses to dominate your perception of what is real. If you look to the external world for validation, you may find yourself questioning the feasibility of your vision. This is why persistence requires discipline. You must train your mind to focus on what you desire, rather than what you fear or lack. Each time doubt creeps in, reaffirm your vision and return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Persistence is about unwavering commitment to your dream. It is about holding on to the truth of what you want, no matter how long it takes or how improbable it seems. The universe responds to the energy of certainty. When you persist in your vision with faith and conviction, you send out a clear signal that cannot be ignored. Recognizing your inner millionaire is about understanding that wealth is not just a matter of external circumstances or financial numbers. It's a state of mind, a way of thinking, and a way of being. The true millionaire does not measure their wealth by the amount of money in their bank account, but by the abundance they feel within themselves. This inner wealth is the foundation from which all external wealth springs. Recognizing your inner millionaire means embracing your potential, your worth, and the unshakable belief that you are worthy of limitless abundance. The first step in recognizing your inner millionaire is to change your mindset. Too often, people limit themselves with beliefs rooted in scarcity. They believe wealth is hard to come by, or that it is only for the lucky few. These beliefs act as barriers that keep abundance at bay. But when you recognize that wealth is a reflection of your thoughts and feelings, you realize that the only true limitation lies within your own mind. You have the power to shift your perception of what is possible for you. The millionaire mindset is not focused on lack, struggle, or effort. It is grounded in the understanding that abundance is your natural state. You are deserving of wealth, and wealth is drawn to you as you align with the vibration of abundance. This does not mean you are entitled to instant riches, but rather that your thoughts, emotions, and actions must align with the belief that you are capable of attracting prosperity. Recognizing your inner millionaire is about understanding that you are an active participant in your financial destiny, not a passive observer. A key aspect of recognizing your inner millionaire is developing self-worth. The way you value yourself directly impacts the amount of abundance you allow into your life. If you do not believe you deserve wealth, you will unknowingly block it from flowing toward you. A person who recognizes their worth does not chase after wealth in desperation, but attracts it naturally by embodying the energy of abundance. They act from a place of confidence, knowing that they are worthy of everything they desire. One powerful way to recognize your inner millionaire is through visualization. By consistently picturing yourself as the person you want to become, you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind to accept this new identity. Imagine yourself living in the house of your dreams, driving the car you desire, and experiencing the lifestyle of abundance you long for. Feel the emotions of gratitude, joy, and excitement as if these things are already your reality. The more you visualize your wealthy self, the more your actions, decisions, and thoughts will align with the person you are becoming. Another essential element in recognizing your inner millionaire is gratitude. Millionaires, in both the literal and metaphorical sense, understand that wealth is not just about the destination, it is also about the journey. Gratitude amplifies abundance. By acknowledging and appreciating what you already have, you raise your vibration and open the door for more prosperity to enter your life. Whether it's appreciating the roof over your head, the food you eat, or the small successes you experience daily, gratitude strengthens your connection to the flow of abundance. Recognizing your inner millionaire also requires a shift in how you approach opportunities. Millionaires see opportunities where others see obstacles. They know that each challenge is an opportunity for growth, learning, and expansion. The mindset of abundance embraces risks and welcomes new experiences, because there is a deep understanding that the universe is always conspiring in their favor. When you adopt this mindset, you start to notice opportunities that were always there but previously went unnoticed. The more you recognize the opportunities around you, the more you invite wealth into your life. As you move forward, the recognition of your inner millionaire will also involve stepping into your power and taking inspired action. Wealth is not a passive state. It requires intention, focus, and effort. But this effort is not about struggling or working tirelessly. It's about taking inspired, aligned actions that feel joyful and right for you. When you recognize your inner millionaire, you stop chasing after success and start allowing it to flow toward you naturally. You begin to make decisions that reflect the wealth you are creating within, trusting that your intuition and inner wisdom will guide you to the right opportunities. The most important element in recognizing your inner millionaire is belief. It starts with believing in yourself, in your ability to create wealth, and in your worthiness to receive it. Belief is the fuel that drives your manifestations. Without belief, no amount of action or hard work will bring lasting results. But with belief, your thoughts become powerful and your actions become aligned with your deepest desires. Recognize that your inner millionaire is not defined by the money you have today. It is defined by the person you are becoming, the energy you are radiating, and the abundance you are attracting. Money is simply a reflection of the energy you embody. The more you recognize your inner wealth, the more it will manifest in all areas of your life. You have the power to create the life of your dreams. Recognize that wealth, success, and abundance are already within you, waiting to be realized. By shifting your mindset, embracing gratitude, trusting your intuition, and taking inspired action, you will find that the universe aligns to bring your desires to life. Recognize your inner millionaire, and you will begin to see the world through the eyes of abundance. Gratitude is the most powerful key to unlocking the abundance of life. It is not merely a polite acknowledgement of blessings, but a profound state of alignment with the source of all creation. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present, from absence to abundance, and in doing so, it opens the floodgates to more of what you desire. When you dwell in the feeling of gratitude, you create a vibrational match to the very things you long to attract. To live in gratitude is to live in a state of constant receiving. Every breath, every moment, and every experience becomes a gift. When you recognize the abundance already present in your life, you activate a magnetic force that draws even more blessings toward you. The universe operates on a principle of reflection. It mirrors back to you the energy you emit. Gratitude, therefore, becomes a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive, that you acknowledge its infinite generosity, and that you trust in the flow of life. Many people make the mistake of waiting for their desires to manifest before they feel grateful. They tie their gratitude to external circumstances, thinking, "I'll be grateful when I get the job, the relationship, or the money." But this conditional gratitude keeps you in a state of waiting, reinforcing the idea that you do not yet have what you want. True gratitude, however, is proactive. It is the recognition of abundance before it materializes. When you express gratitude for something as though it is already yours, you collapse the distance between desire and manifestation. You summon it into your reality by aligning your energy with its presence. Gratitude is a state of allowing. It dissolves resistance and opens you to the flow of abundance. Often, people block their blessings with doubt, fear, or a fixation on how their desires will come to fruition. But gratitude bypasses these limitations. It shifts your focus from the mechanics of manifestation to the joy of receiving. When you are grateful, you trust the process. You no longer need to control every detail, because you know that the universe is working in your favor. Gratitude is the ultimate act of faith. It is not enough to simply say, "I'm grateful." The power of gratitude lies in feeling it deeply and genuinely. Words without emotion lack the vibrational energy needed to attract abundance. Take a moment to truly feel grateful for something in your life. It could be the warmth of the sun on your skin, the support of a loved one, or even the lessons learned through a challenging experience. Notice how this feeling expands your heart and lifts your spirit. That is the energy that draws miracles into your life. Gratitude also shifts your perspective. When you practice gratitude consistently, you begin to see the world differently. Challenges transform into opportunities, and obstacles become stepping stones. Instead of focusing on what you lack, you focus on what you have. And this shift in perspective creates a ripple effect. The more you focus on abundance, the more abundance you attract. Gratitude becomes a lens through which you view life. revealing blessings you might otherwise overlook. One of the most profound aspects of gratitude is its ability to neutralize negative emotions. It is impossible to feel deeply grateful and resentful, fearful, or anxious at the same time. Gratitude raises your vibrational frequency, lifting you out of low-energy states and into a place of empowerment. When faced with difficulty, gratitude acts as an anchor, reminding you of the good that still exists in your life and helping you navigate challenges with grace and resilience. Gratitude also fosters a sense of interconnectedness. It reminds you that you are part of a greater whole, supported by forces seen and unseen. Every act of gratitude strengthens your connection to the divine source of all abundance. It is an acknowledgement that you are not alone, that life is always conspiring to bless you, and that you are a co-creator in this miraculous dance of existence. A powerful way to cultivate gratitude is through intentional practices. Begin and end your day by reflecting on what you are grateful for. Write these blessings down, no matter how small they may seem. As you do, notice how your energy shifts. Gratitude practice consistently becomes a habit, and over time, it transforms your life. The more you give thanks, the more reasons you find to be thankful. Gratitude is not just about receiving, it is also about giving. When you express gratitude, you naturally want to give back, whether through acts of kindness, words of appreciation, or simply sharing your joy with others. This giving creates a cycle of abundance that benefits not only you but everyone around you. The more you give, the more you receive, and the flow of blessings becomes endless. Gratitude is the key to unlocking the life you desire. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. By living in a state of gratitude, you align yourself with the infinite abundance of the universe. You become a magnet for blessings, a vessel for miracles, and a beacon of light in the world. Open your heart to gratitude and watch as the floodgates of abundance pour into your life. Everything you seek is already waiting for you. Gratitude is the key to receiving it. Wealth is not just an idea or a distant dream. It is a state of being that requires action. Thoughts and feelings lay the foundation for abundance, but action is the bridge that carries you from intention to manifestation. To step into wealth, you must align your actions with your vision and move forward with faith and determination. Action is the language through which you communicate your readiness to receive what you desire. It is a signal to the universe that you are committed to embodying the wealth you envision. The first step to stepping into wealth with action is clarity. You must be clear about what wealth means to you. For some, it may be financial freedom. For others, it might be a sense of security, opportunities for travel, or the ability to give generously. Whatever wealth represents to you, it must be defined with precision. Without a clear vision, your actions will lack direction, and the energy you invest will dissipate. Clarity allows you to take purposeful steps, ensuring that every effort aligns with your ultimate goal. Once your vision is clear, the next step is to cultivate the mindset of a wealthy person. Wealthy individuals do not wait for external circumstances to change before they act. Instead, they embody the confidence, decisiveness, and resourcefulness that align with their desired reality. When you act as though you are already wealthy, you shift your energy from lack to abundance. This doesn't mean reckless spending or living beyond your means. It means adopting habits and attitudes that reflect your belief in your own prosperity. Taking action requires courage. The path to wealth often involves stepping out of your comfort zone, facing uncertainty, and taking risks. These challenges are not meant to deter you but to refine you. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. Even if the path is unclear, the act of moving forward opens doors that would have remained invisible if you had stayed still. Remember, action is not about knowing every step in advance. It's about trusting that the next step will reveal itself as you move forward. One of the most important aspects of stepping into wealth with action is consistency. Small, consistent efforts compound over time to create extraordinary results. Wealth is not built overnight, nor is it the result of one grand gesture. It is the outcome of daily actions, decisions, and habits that align with your vision. Whether it's learning a new skill, saving a portion of your income, or networking with others who inspire you, These small steps accumulate and pave the way for abundance. Action also requires intention. It is not enough to be busy, your efforts must be purposeful. Every action you take should reflect your belief in your ability to create wealth. Whether it's choosing to invest in your personal growth, starting a business, or managing your finances with discipline, your actions should align with your ultimate goal. Intention transforms ordinary tasks into powerful steps toward abundance. It ensures that your energy is focused and that your efforts are meaningful. Another key to stepping into wealth with action is resilience. The journey to abundance is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. These experiences are not signs of failure but opportunities for growth. Wealthy individuals understand that persistence is essential. They do not give up when faced with obstacles. Instead, they learn from them and adapt. Each challenge you overcome strengthens your resolve and brings you closer to your goals. Stepping into wealth also involves collaboration. No one achieves great success in isolation. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and support your vision. Seek mentors who have walked the path you aspire to follow. Build relationships with individuals who share your values and ambitions. Collaboration amplifies your efforts and opens doors to opportunities you may not have discovered on your own. Gratitude plays a vital role in taking action toward wealth. When you are grateful for what you have, you attract more to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, creating a sense of abundance that fuels your actions. As you move forward, take time to appreciate each step of the journey. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and trust that every effort brings you closer to your vision. Stepping into wealth with action requires faith. Faith is the belief in what you cannot yet see, the conviction that your efforts will bear fruit, even if the results are not immediately visible. Faith allows you to act with confidence, knowing that the universe responds to your energy and intention. When you act with faith, you align with the flow of abundance, and the universe meets you halfway. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you step into. By aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions, you create a harmonious flow that attracts abundance into your life. Each action you take, no matter how small, is a step toward embodying the wealth you desire. Move forward with clarity, intention, and faith, and watch as your actions transform your vision into reality. The journey to wealth begins with a single step. Take it boldly, and the path will unfold before you.